Hey, I hope you're all doing great today. Coming to you from the park. It's a bit windy, but sunny, about 45 degrees out. Roads are finally clear, so I took my commuter out, thought I'd give her a test drive, hoping that this will turn things around and I can start making it into work on the bike. Um, as far as review of the week, pretty much the same thing. About 9 hours on the bike, 2 weightlifting sessions. Looking back, it's been pretty consistent for about the past 8 weeks. Pretty boring stuff. My power numbers have gone up, which is super exciting. I've done a little bit different this year than I did last year, where it's more aerobic training. I have got some intensity in there, of course, but I usually come out swinging really hard in the spring and then just kind of peak, valley, and then peak in the fall again. And I'd like to continue to just kind of build this year. So I know they're not as high as last year, but I put in some 4-minute efforts at about 370, 380 watts, and I was able to breathe through those pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about that. Still haven't FTP tested. I've just been bumping up my numbers, 110, 120% on my workouts and getting through those. I really don't want to FTP test. I should, but mentally I just don't want to do it. Coming into this week, nice 2-hour ride today outside, which is pretty exciting. I'll go through my bike a little bit at the end, but I'm going to do a full review of my bike. She's my workhorse, so I think that's a pretty cool thing to go through, but we'll just kind of highlight it today. As far as this week goes, though, if the weather holds as predicted, I'm hoping to get in the early teens as far as hours go. Maybe like 11 to 13 hours in the saddle would be pretty good. I've noticed that when you're training over winter on the trainer and you get on the bike, you do get a bit more aerobic fitness, or I do, but it's just not a direct translation. So I'm gonna have to ease in to those supportive muscles and stuff out of the saddle, arms and whatnot. So this week we'll just kind of see how things go, enjoy rolling around on the commuter, and yeah. So let's flip this around and take a look at the bike. So here's my commuter. She's a Surly long haul trucker, 10 speed. Let's flip this around because there we are. A little more proper crank position. But as you can tell, she's got a power meter on there, power tap. I got those when they were kind of selling their business. Pretty good deal on it. So I've got one on both road bikes at the moment. Gives me some training data on where, what kind of efforts I'm putting in here and there. Up in the cockpit, there's a couple of really cool things. I want to point out my, dispatch headset. Reminds me, chill out on the way in, chill out on the way back. Now these are really cool. My 10-speed shifters, we can get a close-up of that. That's carbon fiber wrap. I did that myself, as you can tell. It's pretty much home done. But that was off my race bike. The plastic ends fell off, and I decided, hey, I'd wrap them. So I wanted to put that on here. It reminds me of racing short course duathlon, and I just kind of like it. It's kind of just a neat little piece of flair. Something a little more unique. Love that. Love my bar tape too. It actually feels really great. This will be the 3rd season on this tape, and I ride it all the time. So you can tell, it holds up really well. Maybe it's the 2nd year. Anyways, there's at least one full season on it. In the back, there's something to mention. So these are Shimano 10-speed Dura Ace shifters, and on the back, you'll see my Shimano Odoor mountain bike. Now they don't talk directly, so you see this little guy here? That is a tan pan, and that actually changes the shifting ratios so that I can throw a mountain shifter on there. It does have a clutch, which is kind of cool. When I was taking this for a tour, 3 days with friends, we did some off-road. It was nice. You could just shift it into a small gear and lock the clutch, and it didn't jiggle at all, so that was kind of nice. And that's kind of it. We'll go through the rest of it later, but those are kind of my highlights on my commuter bike. I like riding her. She's pretty great. Big thanks to Hammer Nutrition, of course, as always, for feeding me, and Dispatch Cycles. So that is it for this week. If you have any questions or want me to expand on some of the stuff on the bike, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next week, and we'll go into things a little more in detail then. Thanks.